Hi, my dear students. You all are welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm just going to share with you all the literary devices, all the techniques, like all the symbols, all the figure of speeches used in the poem Ode on Melancholy. But before heading straightway into all these technicalities and typicalities used in the poem, I would first of all like to tell you in brief, in short, in few words about the theme of this poem. First, here he is celebrating melancholy instead of cursing it. Here is celebrating it. He is not cursing it. He is not calling melancholy by all bad names. He is not using negative terms, particularly for melancholy, but he is celebrating it and admiring it. Why? Because melancholy is inseparable. In human life, joy and sorrow go hand in hand. Just like in the end of Paradise Lost, we see Adam and Eve walking hand in hand in the same manner, according to just John Keats, just pain and joy, pain and happiness, joy and sorrow just go hand in hand, and the major chunk of the human life experiences suffering. So one should somehow develop a kind of a understanding to live with suffering. Why? Because one has to suffer a lot in this human life. So this in short is the theme of this very particular poem, that is Ode on Melancholy. Now let us look into the just technicalities and the literary devices used in the poem. Let's look the first line. This certain plants actually are referred or made mention in the first stanza of the poem. These plants are actually just used particularly for extracting some poisonous thing, like the first plant, wolf's bane. Then we have the ruby gray proserpine nightshade. Then we have some other things like insects, beetle, then death moth. Then we have owl. These all are the symbols. These all are the symbols that speak volumes about death and destructions and so many other things. So these symbols just are used by John Keats particularly to let the people warn. He's warning the people. That people should not take help from all these things, particularly to dull the pain of their melancholy or their suffering. So these elements are used as symbol. Next, see this very particular line. You see this. Like Lethe Proserpine. Lethe is the name of the river of the underworld according to Greek mythology. And Proserpine, I told you in the last video that Proserpine is considered the kings of the underworld. So these two words are used particularly as allusions. Why? Because here he has directly just used these two things from the Greek mythology. So here allusion is. Now see the next one. From shade to shade. See this, both the lines begin with just S. Then again see this line. That is very important and good line. And hides the green hill. Hides and hill. Here repetition of H sound, and here shade to shade, repetition of S sound at the beginning, that is alliteration. I'm not going to spell you the word. Why? Because I have spelled it many times in my previous videos. Now next, weeping cloud. How can cloud weep? This line is a perfect example of pathetic fallacy, the term given by Ruskin. Pathetic fallacy is a kind of a figure of speech in which just human emotions are attributed to lifeless objects of the nature. Like if I say, I saw the sun smiling. So here the smiling is a human trait, human quality, and this human quality here I have transferred it to sun. That is pathetic fallacy. So here weeping is a human just a trait, here transferred to the cloud. So weeping cloud is a very good example of pathetic fallacy. So pathetic fallacy is used. Pathetic, maybe I may have not made mention in the previous video, so I'm spelling you the word pathetic, 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 fallacy, Falllecy, fallacy, 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 not EY. Next, so this is the example of the pathetic fallacy. Then see this, just see this line, the rich anger. See this line, read, or if thy mistress some rich anger shows. How can anger be rich? Rich can never be anger. Then this again, see the third line of the last just a stanza, that is the third stanza. Aching pleasure. How can pleasure be aching? Aching means pain giving, and pleasure joy giving. So here aching and pleasure, opposite to each other, placed together in the same manner. Rich and anger, opposite to each other, are placed together. Good example of oxymoron. Again, I'm not going to explain it oxymoron. Why? Because I have explained it to you in multiple times in the previous videos. See, assonance. Assonance is also used in this form. Assonance, repeated sound or the repetition of the vowel sounds in the consecutive lines or consecutive words is called assonance. See the assonance. See the very beautiful line. Feed deep upon her peerless. See this. Again and again, feed, E, the sound of E, then again deep, sound of again E, then deep, again sound of E, then peerless, peer, again sound of. So see, again same vowel sound is here repeated. Feed, deep, peerless. So in all these words we have the repetition of the same vowel sound, that is assonance. See the next line. Sorry, assonance, not assonance, assonance. See the next line. Bidding word has I sound, then adieu has I sound, then a king, again I sound, then nigh, nigh, again I sound. So these words used one after the other have the repetition of the I sound, that is vowel. So these two lines, feed, deep upon her peerless, then bidding, adieu, and aching pleasure, nigh. These two lines are very good example of assonance, means a repetition of the vowel sound. Then see, we also have consonance, consonance, consonant, repetition of the consonant sound. See this line. Temple of delight. This temple of delight has the repetition of L sound. Temple has L, then again delight is L. So temple and delight, both of the words hold within them the repetition of the consonant sound. Then see again, this oxymoron I have already just explained it to you. Allusion I have already explained it to you. Almost all the literary devices used in this poem I have explained it to you. So I hope, my dear learners, you may have better understood all these literary devices or figure of speeches used in this beautiful poem of just John Keats. Before wrapping up this topic, once again I would tell you that John Keats wrote as many as probably 5 odes in the year 1819. Out of these 5 odes or out of his all odes, it is said that probably John Keats wrote 10 odes in totality, and out of those 10 odes he wrote 5 odes in 1890, and those 5 odes are known as the greatest ode written by John Keats. And out of those 5 odes, and out of his all 10 odes, the longest ode is Ode to a Nightingale, written 1819. The poem is written in 8 stanzas, 10 lines each, and out of his all odes, the shortest ode is out of those finest 5 odes, that is Ode on Melancholy, an ode that is consisted of 3 stanzas, 10 lines each. So remember it, Ode to a Nightingale, longest ode with 8 stanzas, 10 lines. Ode on Melancholy, shortest with the 3 stanzas, 10 lines each. And all these 5 odes, like Ode to a Nightingale, Ode on Grecian Urn, Ode on Indolence, Ode to Psyche, and Ode on Melancholy, these were written in the year 1819, and the same year these odes were published. So I hope this video of mine will again help you just give a reminder to all these important facts related to John Keats and his poems. So my dear learners, that's it in this video. Thank you for watching.